In this first lesson, you will learn the following computer concepts: what software is, what an operating system does, what is computer compatibility, what are applications programs, and what jobs can be accomplished with applications programs. Some of the computer terminology you will learn includes DOS, OS/2, Unix, clones, multitasking, multi-user, network, word processor, desktop publishing, WYSIWYG, font, spreadsheet, database, CADCAM, PIM, CBT, and integrated software.
We'll start by defining the term software. Software is simply a series of step-by-step instructions that tell the computer hardware what to do. The series of instructions is often called a program or a software program.
The word software comes from the idea that you cannot actually touch the instructions. This is in contrast to the computer equipment or hardware, which you can touch. As you learned in the LearnPC course Hardware, the power of your computer, hardware and software need each other to work. To change the computer hardware from doing one kind of work to another, all you need to change is the software. That is, change the instructions to the hardware. The hardware stays the same. One computer system can use or run many different software programs.
Even though there are many different software programs, there are two main categories of software: operating systems and applications programs. First, we will briefly define them and then talk about both in more detail.
Operating systems operate a computer's hardware. An operating system, also known as system software, is the basic set of instructions that tell all the parts of a computer system how to work together. Therefore, whenever using a computer, you must use operating system software.
At the same time the operating system software is working, the computer is usually also using application software. An applications program lets you apply the computer to a specific job or application. For example, there is graphing application software for making graphs. There is word processing application software for writing. And there are many other application software programs for many other jobs.
Even though applications programs and operating systems have different jobs, they are both software. In other words, they both are a series of instructions that tell the computer how to perform tasks.
These instructions are written by computer programmers using special programming languages. You may have heard of some of these programming languages, such as BASIC, Fortran, Pascal, C, assembly code, and COBOL.
The average computer user does not need to be concerned with these programming languages or understand how these instructions work.
However, from a computer literacy point of view, you should understand what operating systems and applications programs do. Therefore, we will now explore these two kinds of software in detail. We'll begin with operating systems.
You must have an operating system to operate a computer. An operating system controls every part of a computer's hardware: the keyboard, the processor, the internal memory, RAM, the monitor, the disk drives, the printer, and all the rest of the input and output devices.
Think of the operating system as a drill sergeant in your computer. The operating system gives orders and directs the flow of information through the computer. You are like a general at the highest level of command. You give commands to the operating system, and the operating system tells the computer hardware to carry out those commands.
Even when you use an applications program, the operating system is still working in the background, taking orders and telling the computer hardware what to do. There are several different operating systems for personal computers. Different computers use different operating systems. One of the most common is called DOS.
DOS stands for Disk Operating System. Disk Operating System means that the operating instructions are stored on a disk. Each time the computer is turned on, the operating instructions are loaded from the disk into the computer. There are different versions of DOS, like PC-DOS and MS-DOS. For the most part, they are the same.
Many personal computers made by IBM use DOS. Personal computers that use DOS are called DOS-compatible or IBM-compatible. IBM-compatible computers are often called IBM clones because they're basically copies of IBM computers. A few of the other companies that make DOS-compatible computers include Compaq, Hewlett-Packard, Zenith, Tandy, Toshiba, and Epson. And there are many more.
OS/2 is another operating system used by many IBM personal computers, including most of the IBM PS2 family of computers. There are also PS2 compatible computers. Most of these computers can also use DOS. OS/2 gives a computer the ability to run large programs that require a lot of RAM. Another advantage of OS/2 is its multitasking ability. Multitasking means you can run more than one application's program at the same time.
Another popular multitasking operating system is called Unix. There are similar versions of Unix, like Xenix and AIX. In addition to being a multitasking operating system, Unix offers another advantage. It is a multi-user operating system. Multi-user means that many people can use the same processor. In a multi-user system, there are usually a number of user stations called terminals. Each terminal has a keyboard and a monitor. All of the terminals connect to the same processor. As you learned in the LearnPC course Introduction to Computer Literacy, these terminals are often called dumb terminals because they have no processing abilities. They are just input and output devices.
Multi-user systems are often a less expensive alternative to purchasing a PC for each user. Plus, they allow many people to share the same software, information, and devices such as printers and modems. Local area networks, or LANs, are another system that allow more than one user to share software, information, and devices.
But networks are different from multi-user systems. In a network, every station must have its own processor. Therefore, each station is a smart terminal because each has its own processor. In a network, all of the PCs are connected to a main computer in order to share files. The main computer is called the file server. The PCs in the network must use the same operating system, and each PC must run its own copy of the operating system. There are a number of operating systems other than DOS, OS/2, and Unix. For example, Apple computers, including the Macintosh, use their own operating systems. Commodore and Atari computers use their own operating systems as well. It is important to note that different operating systems are not compatible with each other. In other words, an applications program written for one operating system generally cannot be used with other operating systems.
For example, an applications program written for DOS generally cannot be used with the Apple, Atari, or Commodore operating systems. Special hardware and software is available for some computers that allows you to run some applications programs with different operating systems.
Operating systems are all different, but their purpose is the same. In each case, the operating system is the set of instructions working in the background that tells the computer hardware how to operate. You must have an operating system to do any kind of work with your computer. Once you have an operating system running on your computer, also known as loaded into your computer, you can then work with an applications program.
There are literally thousands of applications programs for personal computers. More are being written every day. They give you the opportunity to maximize productivity, to create, to accomplish, and to grow. Most of them fall into one of the following categories: word processing, desktop publishing, spreadsheets, database management, sometimes called information management, telecommunications, utilities, financial and accounting, statistical analysis, project management, personal information managers, graphics, graphing and charting, desktop video, animation, CADCAM, demonstration or point-of-sale software, education, simulation, and games. Now we will describe these categories with a special emphasis on the 4 categories you are most likely to use: word processing and desktop publishing, spreadsheets, and database management. We'll begin with word processing.
A word processing program turns your computer into a fancy typewriter that lets you type just about anything: letters, memos, reports, books, forms, mailing labels, and so on. Plus, word processors let you preview and change your work before printing out on paper. Many have a feature called WYSIWYG, which stands for "What you see is what you get." This means the image on the screen looks exactly like the document will appear when printed.
Professional quality word processing programs often have hundreds of other features. Here are a few of the basic features that most word processing programs offer. You can correct typing errors quickly and easily as you write.
Some word processing programs have a spelling checker that can automatically find and help you correct spelling errors.
You can make revisions to your work by adding and changing words. You can move sections of text from one place to another, cutting and pasting, so to speak. All this without having to retype your entire document.
You can use and revise documents or portions of documents that have been stored on disk, again without having to retype.
A word processing program can also print out customized form letters and mailing labels.
Some word processing programs let you use different fonts, that is, different styles and sizes of type. Some let you make complex layouts and also include pictures and other graphics so that you can create sophisticated documents. These word processors allow you to make documents that look like they were professionally published. Publishing documents from the computer on your desktop is what desktop publishing software does. There are programs made specifically to do desktop publishing. These programs offer you the flexibility to easily lay out pages, the ability to insert photos and immediately see the effects as you alter their size, the capability to easily select the colors you want to use, and the versatility to produce almost anything from a simple brochure to a poster. These are just some of the features unique to desktop publishing programs. But as word processing programs become more advanced, the line between word processing and desktop publishing is softening. These are just a few of the features offered by word processing programs. These powerful features combine to give you the exciting ability to process words.
What word processing does for words, a spreadsheet program does for numbers. A spreadsheet program is like a giant piece of accounting paper with many columns and rows. The spreadsheet can make simple calculations like adding up rows and columns of numbers, and the spreadsheet can make complex financial calculations like loan payments or future and present net values of investments.
Best of all, when you change a number on the spreadsheet, the program automatically recalculates all the values affected by that change. This is especially valuable when building financial or other mathematical models. You can use the model to ask what-if questions about the future.
For example, you can ask, what if sales go up 10% next year? How will that affect the company's bottom line? Then you can change the figure to 15%. With the press of a key, the spreadsheet will recalculate for you.
Finding the answer to these types of questions may involve hundreds of complex calculations. You could spend hours doing the calculations by hand, or you can use a spreadsheet program to give you the answer in seconds. When you're finished with your work, the spreadsheet program can output your information as a printed report.
A spreadsheet program does everything you can do with pencil, paper, and calculator, and much, much more. The main advantage of a spreadsheet program is speed. You can work with more numbers, with more complex calculations, and finish your work much faster with a spreadsheet program.
You can work with numbers by hand, but a spreadsheet is far superior. You can work with words by hand, but a word processor is far superior. Similarly, you can work with records and lists by hand, but a database manager is far superior.
Database management is a fancy way to say record keeping. Record keeping includes things like maintaining a directory of names, addresses, and telephone numbers,
Keeping an inventory of items in a warehouse,
or keeping track of all the products sold by a company and to whom.
You could keep all your records manually on file cards, Rolodexes, and notebooks, but there are many advantages to using a computer. With a database management program, you can build and store bigger, more comprehensive databases with hundreds of thousands of detailed records.
Maintaining your records is much easier. Corrections, revisions, and additions are a snap compared to changing written records by hand.
You can use the power and speed of the computer to sort, search for, and select information. Instead of searching for hours to find the answer to a question, a database management program gives you the information you need in seconds.
And you can easily print out reports, mailing labels, and form letters.
With a database management program, you can go beyond mere record keeping and start using information in advanced, sophisticated ways. Your database can be a strategic resource as you do in-depth demographic research or direct mailings to specific groups of customers.
In sum, a database manager helps you use information to make your business or organization more successful.
The programs we've mentioned so far, database management, spreadsheet, word processing, and desktop publishing, handle most information processing needs in a business or organization. However, there are many applications programs for special purposes. In the rest of this lesson, we'll briefly go over some of the more common ones.
With a telecommunications program and a modem, you can use your computer to communicate with other computer systems. You can tap huge libraries of information, get current stock prices, do market research, and get the full text of journal articles, all without leaving your office.
Utility programs are invaluable tools for computer housekeeping tasks. For example, utilities are available to arrange files on a hard disk, copy files, erase files, even recover a file that has been erased or damaged. Often, these utility tools are included as an added extra with certain applications programs and operating systems programs.
Financial and accounting programs handle bookkeeping information. These programs can keep track of finances, print financial statements and reports, and write checks.
If you have market research or a survey that needs to be analyzed, these programs can help you work with statistical data.
Project management programs help you schedule tasks and assign workloads. For example, you can use project management programs to make sure a complex job like a construction project gets done on time and on budget.
Personal Information Managers, or PIM programs, help you handle the information that flows across your desk. Notes, memos, telephone numbers, appointments, and changes to your schedule. A PIM program lets you manage and organize all that information effectively.
There are programs to help you work with pictures and designs. Graphics programs let you produce original artwork on a computer. There is almost no end to what you can design with these programs. Many of these programs will also produce slides and other presentation materials.
Graphing and charting programs let you convert numbers into presentation materials. With these programs, you can present information like financial figures clearly and colorfully.
Desktop video and animation programs give you the ability to produce video programs from the computer on your desktop. With these programs, you can move graphics and text and perform numerous special effects. The advances made in video and animation programs are nothing short of spectacular. Just a few years ago, these types of creations were so costly that only the largest organizations could afford to use them in video presentations. Now, many smaller organizations can produce these with their own PC and take advantage of the benefits offered by video for training, marketing, and other purposes.
Programs for computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing, also known as CADCAM, let you design just about anything, simple objects or complex machines, and then manufacture them more efficiently. You can see your work in 3 dimensions, rotating and changing your designs with a few keystrokes.
There is a growing category of software called demonstration or point of sales programs. You run these programs on a computer to learn more about products, services, or even another applications program.
The programs we've told you about so far have many important business uses, but computers are not all business.
Educational programs, also known as CBT or computer-based training, help children and adults learn math, foreign languages, and other subjects.
Simulation programs let you do things like fly an airplane or run a multi-billion-dollar corporation, all from the comfort of your living room.
And of course, there are computer games. You can be one of the characters in a complex adventure story, or you can try to save the Earth from hordes of alien invaders.
From video arcade game to graphics maker to sophisticated financial planner, software turns your computer into many different tools.
And there is software that allows your computer to be more than one of these tools at the same time.
You may have heard the term integrated software. Integrated software combines many functions into one program. A piece of integrated software may include a database, a spreadsheet, graphing, word processing, and telecommunications, along with other functions, all in one program.
All of these functions, whether in an integrated program or a program designed to do just a specific job, make your computer an incredibly versatile machine.
You have now been introduced to many of the jobs your computer can perform for you.
To sum up, when using a computer, you are usually using 2 kinds of software at the same time. An operating system working in the background to operate the computer hardware, while an applications program is used to do a specific type of job.
The specific jobs used in most business settings include word processing, spreadsheet, and database management. But there are many other special programs for use at work, at home, and at school.
In this lesson, you have learned what software is, what an operating system does, what is computer compatibility, what are applications programs, and what jobs can be accomplished with applications programs.
In addition, you have learned many computer terms, including DOS, OS/2, Unix, clones, multitasking, multi-user, network, word processor, desktop publishing, WYSIWYG, font, spreadsheet, database, CADCAM, PIM, CBT, and integrated software.
If you need to do any kind of work with any kind of information, there is probably a computer program that can help you do the job better.
And even though there are thousands of different computer programs, they all follow the same basic principles. The program tells the computer how to input information, process the information, and output the information in a usable form. By understanding those basic principles of computer literacy, you can learn to use any piece of computer software.
In the next lesson, Using Software, we will take you further into the world of software and show you how to actually use software on your computer. In the last lesson, we showed you how software programs give your computer tremendous power, flexibility, and versatility.
As you have seen, software programs are available to meet a wide range of personal and business needs.
Even though software programs perform a wide variety of tasks, they all work basically the same way. In this lesson, we will show you the steps involved in using software so that you can begin to harness the power of today's computer software for your own needs.
In this lesson, you will learn how to start or boot your computer, enter commands, change the default drive, load your software program, read software output, use software menus, and input data and commands to your computer. Computer terminology you will learn includes boot, load, prompt, command, enter key, default, and menu.
To help you learn these skills, we have included special software demonstration discs with this course. The discs were produced by software manufacturers to demonstrate how their software works.
The discs will give you an idea of the many kinds and capabilities of software packages available today. In addition, the discs provide an easy-to-follow introduction to using software.
After completing this lesson, you will have an opportunity to practice using the discs. We suggest that you watch this entire lesson before practicing the procedures on your own.
By watching the lesson and using these discs, you will gain an understanding of how all software works.
Plus, you'll have the basic skills necessary to start using software programs on your own.
Finally, you'll discover just how easy and exciting it can be to put the power of computer software to work for you.
Let's get started. As we said earlier, software is simply instructions stored on a disk that tell the computer what to do. But before we can use the software, we must first load or input the software into the computer. To load an application software program, there are two steps. First, we load the operating system. Second, we load the application software. We will begin with the first step, loading the operating system. On our computer, we load the operating system simply by starting the computer. Starting the computer is called booting. Booting is a term that comes from the phrase, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. In other words, the computer pulls itself up or starts using the operating system. We are using the DOS operating system. To boot or start the computer, we turn on the monitor and then turn on the computer. The operating system is already loaded on the hard disk drive. The computer makes some noises and the drive light flashes, letting us know that the computer is starting itself using the operating system on the hard drive. In a moment or two, the screen looks like this. Depending on the type of computer you are using and the way your computer is set up, you may get different messages when you start your computer. You may get a message like this, asking you to enter the current date and time. However, many computers have an internal clock that automatically enters the date and time for you. Or, you may get a message like this, telling you that your computer is connected to a network. Or, you may get a list giving choices of what you can do on your computer. No matter what messages you see on your screen, after a few moments, a letter followed by a greater than sign will appear. This is called the DOS prompt. The letter tells you which drive your computer is using. We have a C prompt telling us that the computer is using drive C. Your prompt may look slightly different. The prompt means the computer has successfully started itself using the operating system. We have now completed step 1, loading the operating system. We are ready for step 2, loading the application software. We will load a demonstration software program now.
First, we insert the disk into drive A. When inserting a floppy disk, We hold our thumb on the label and insert the disk into the drive like this. Once the disk is in the drive, we shut the drive door.
We are now ready to tell the computer to read the software instructions from the disk in drive A. But as we said earlier, our DOS prompt includes the letter C. Again, the C means the computer is using drive C. On our computer, drive C is the default drive. In other words, unless we set the drive differently, drive C will win by default. But our disk is in drive A. To use drive A, we must first tell the computer to use drive A instead of drive C. This is called changing the default drive.
To change the default drive, we will give the computer a command. The command will be the letter of the drive we want to use, in our case, an A, followed by a colon. We can use either a lowercase or uppercase A. On our computer, we type A colon. Now, to actually input this command into the computer, we must use a special key called the Enter key, located on the right side of the keyboard. Again, when we press Enter, we're telling the computer, please input this command. Whenever we enter commands or information into the computer, we must use the Enter key. We press the Enter key. A new prompt appears on our screen. This is the A prompt, telling us the computer is ready to use drive A.
Now we are ready to command the computer to start the demonstration program from drive A. Each software program has its own command that tells the computer to start the program. You can find out what command starts a software program by reading the software's manual. Sometimes the disk label tells you the command needed to start a program. The command to start our software is the word demo.
We type our command at the A prompt. If we make a mistake when typing the command, we simply erase the mistake using the gray backspace key on the right of the keyboard. Then we type the correct command. Now, to enter this command into the computer, we again press the Enter key. The computer makes some noises and the drive light goes on. This means the computer is processing instructions from the software disk. An important note, never remove a disk when the drive light is on. You could damage the disk. After a few moments, we see output on the screen. The software program has begun. This software program shows the many sophisticated capabilities of desktop publishing software. Notice the light in drive A goes on frequently as the program continues. The light means the computer is continuing to read instructions from the disk. The instructions tell the computer what words and graphics to display on the monitor. This software program is fully automatic. We give the computer the command to start the demo program. The computer follows the instructions from the disk, and all we have to do is watch.
But not all programs are this automatic. Most programs are designed to let you interact with the computer and make choices about what to see and do. The next software demonstration we will show you is a good example of a program that lets you make choices.
We have already inserted and started the disk for this new demonstration program. The computer displays this screen and pauses. The computer is waiting for instructions. By reading the screen, we see that the computer is giving us choices of what to do. A choice of options such as this is called a computer menu. Just like a restaurant menu provides choices of food, a computer menu provides choices for performing tasks. Our menu provides choices for what to see and do next. At the bottom of the screen, we are told how to make our selection.
We will follow the instructions on our screen to select what we want to do next. We press 1. Now we continue to read and follow the instructions on our screen as we use this demonstration program. This is an important point. Always read your computer screen carefully. The screen will often provide important instructions on how to use the software program. As you've just seen, using software programs like the ones we showed you are easy and fun to use.
The software programs we showed you were designed to demonstrate the capabilities of larger, more powerful software packages.
Of course, the more sophisticated the software program, the more skills are required to use it. But regardless of how sophisticated a software package may be, the computer basics remain the same.
The software is input to the computer, where the software instructions are processed. The graphics and words you see displayed on the monitor are the output. Once your software program is up and running, you can read your screen to find out the choices for performing tasks. You have now completed this lesson on using computer software. In just a short time, you've learned how to start or boot your computer, enter commands, change the default drive, load your software program, read software output, use software menus, and input data and commands to your computer. Computer terminology you have learned includes boot, load, prompt, command, enter key, default, and menu.
These skills and the understanding you have gained will help to greatly enhance your computer literacy, as well as your hands-on computer skills. To further increase your understanding of computer software, we recommend using the demonstration discs included with this course.
To use the demonstration discs, read the labels on the discs and the instructions from LearnPC. When entering commands, make sure to type carefully and then use the Enter key. Remember to watch the computer screen and follow the instructions that appear on the screen. With the skills you have learned in this course, you are now ready to start exploring the power and potential of today's computer software. More importantly, you can begin putting that power to work right away in meeting your unique information needs.